Hi, everybody. It is the evening show. We can review. I've got Jake and Wayne. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, Steve.
Evening, guys.
So you guys have agreed to come on and help me do a weekend review, and I really do appreciate it. And Wayne, we've had a busy week this week, haven't we?
Man, I'll tell you what. Yeah, it was very, 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 very busy.
Well, and the first story that I want to talk about, and this has actually been evolving over the last 2 weeks, but this last week it's been pretty amazing on the coverage that this image that you have up right now, Wayne.
Yeah.
Tell everybody what this is. Pretend like somebody never seen it before and just kind of walk us through it.
Yeah, well, this is the Sechi satellite. This is actually, I think, which one? H12. And we've been now tracking this object, what, gentlemen, going on 6 weeks? Is that correct? I would say.
Has it been that? It feels like it.
5 weeks to 6 weeks is what I would say. I think we first started seeing it like around the, I don't know, probably mid to early August.
Yeah. And we've seen this object now, Steve, develop in a very unusual fashion. In fact, what we're now finding, and we've got some of the best viewers out there and subscribers because they're going back and they're finding documentation. It seems like our friend has friends and has been around ever since the satellite went out there. And we're not going to get into what others are saying. Steve, it's just continues to amaze me to see this craft. And I know this is just 1 day video, but you can see it's clearly there. And I think it's something we're going to need to continue to watch. It continues to expand. And as well, Jake and Steve, it's now showing up in every one of the visible light spectrums.
So this is kind of the story of the week, really, how this thing has been expanding out. We did a couple videos on it. We actually did a close-up on it and actually looked at that, like, almost plasma discharge behind the large plate. And guys, I'm just telling you, everybody on the internet is amazed, number one. Anybody that's finding it or broadcasting on it. Number two, nobody has an explanation yet. Although I did hear Richie from Boston came up with an interesting one, Wayne. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, absolutely.
So he actually corroborated the shape of this thing to a patent, a sun patent, artificial sun patent.
Now that's hey, it makes sense to me.
I mean, I thought it was really plausible. And then he took one of the photos that we had from the FAA cams up in Alaska and did a pretty good job of corroborating that stuff.
Well, there's something out here. This is, I believe, it's artificial intelligence. I do not believe that. There we go. That's what I was trying to get at. So it's now visible, Steve and Jake. Look at that. So it's just, and the thing about it is, as well, gentlemen, we're also seeing photos of what I find unusual lens refractions being shown in our atmosphere, and we've discussed this now at length and understanding what the Earth's atmosphere does, how it can act as a concave lens, how it can amplify and make light that's further away seen very close when we're seeing it from here. So anyway, Steve, Jake, I just think it's something that, look at this. This is what just fascinates me. It's building now, it's my great video, by the way. If we had Emmy Awards, we definitely have to nominate that, would be one. Fun with Photons.
Oh, love it.
Well, one of my favorite videos of all time, Mr. Steiger.
Well, it may go down in the annals of whatever, but so the Fun with Photons, Professor C, we now know what we're seeing. So, Steve, Jake, audience, let's keep on top of this. I believe that Richie may have listen, if they've got patents to it, then that, number one, gives me some comfort. But on the other hand, it kind of scares the crap out of me if you think about it. So anyway, I turn it over to you, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing you ask yourself is if that is what it is. If Richie's correct, then that means that they're doing a big ass artificial sun or whatever, and then you have to start asking yourself, well, then why are they doing that?
Well, you know, gentlemen, we are the modern day Sherlock Holmes here now, because I believe we're going to start showing evidence that I think the game is afoot, and I believe we're getting close.
I do. And the first thing I'll show here, can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first thing I'm going to show here, guys, is this is from Teresa Caldwell, one of our great longtime supporters. And I think, Jake, you were working with her today a little bit. And you came up with this picture, and I thought this was compelling. Jake, can you talk to us about this picture a little bit?
Yeah. Actually, a friend of mine, Michael from Ireland, sent this to me, brought it to my attention. At first, I was just kind of looking at the spots myself, but then I kind of noticed the flare moving around in different spots, and I tried to capture it, screenshot it, and I believe that this corroborates with what we're seeing on set shoot. This, to me, looks, that's pretty defined right there of the shield, what Steve's pointing out.
Yeah.
I was kind of amazed at first. Like, I wasn't even looking for it. It just kind of popped at me because of different color. I haven't seen that kind of blue in a lens flare really, but that's how that got brought to me.
Another compelling
by accident.
evidence. Now check this video out that we got, guys. Check this out. And I think this is from the same guy, right?
No, it might be.
This is from Mike Johnson.
Oh, okay. No.
And Wayne, you've got some background on this photograph. Why don't you tell us what happened with this? Isn't that amazing?
Yes. So, Mike, by the way, you get the Observer of the Week award. He actually saw this. I believe he said this took place about 3:15, 3:20 p.m. today.
Yep.
Began to record the event. He could actually see it. He said he could actually see it in the sky. And I'll let you play the video because it tells the story. Look at that.
Yeah,
Now,
and the picture that I have just to the right here, this is what it looked like 5 minutes later.
so that video on the left, and then we look over on the right, that picture in the rose-colored, which came from the ISS.
And this is from the ISS. We were comparing this picture to this picture.
Look at that. Look at that.
Wow.
Interesting.
Interesting. So anyway,
Yeah.
very, very interesting collaboration of everything.
But anyway, before I got distracted there, I was just going to say, so what we're thinking is there's some strange happenings in our solar system. And the theory that this channel believes is that there is a potential second solar system intersecting with our solar system. That's the theory we're working on. And we research and look at a couple different things, guys. We look at the phenomenon itself and subscriber photographs and things like that to try to figure out what's going on. But the other really big thing that we have to do is we're constantly fighting disinformation, aren't we, guys?
Every day.
And we have to pull apart sometimes, like NASA or certain other channels will put out what we know is disinformation because we researched it, we know it's a lie. And then we come out and try to combat those mistellings or lies or mistaken points of view whenever we can. And then finally, if we make a mistake, man, we are absolutely okay with fessing up to a mistake. We're not doing this for the sensationalism. What we're doing is to try to get to the bottom of the rabbit hole. And thank you for letting me say that to everybody again, guys.
A rabbit hole it is.
It is. And that brings back the SDO stuff. And I don't have to show a lot of that stuff. I'll just show a picture so people can see what an SDO photograph looks like. But we've been watching this eclipse all week, guys, and this obfuscation or this loss of power from the sun. And this really, guys, we have been hammered. This is the worst attack WSO has ever been under. Is when we started showing the SDO pictures, guys. I've never had a worse attack.
I would like to quote Shakespeare. Methinketh you protestest too much, sir. And you know, the more that they protest against us, the more we know.
Well, it really brought a key because, guys, I get like backdoor emails from shills and government trolls all the time, and they'll like try to say nasty things, and they've really been on me about this SEO stuff, and that's really how I know that we're onto something. Quite frankly, it's a detector.
Indeed.
Here's from Dallas. Go ahead.
Good.
No, Jake, talk away, man.
Well, I wanted to add a little bit on the SDO. I don't want to stick around too long on it, but I did do a couple things with the passing of the sun and how it shifted on the software that we've been viewing this on. And it was kind of interesting to me to see that 36 seconds, every 36 seconds, like clockwork, it advances another part of the sun, but it doesn't do it in between single seconds, just every 36 seconds. So I thought that was peculiar, as far as maybe there's a way we can calculate how big this is or how fast it's going with the seconds.
So that you bring out a good point. So what we need to do is begin to simply capture the frames at every 36 seconds. Now, did you see, was the advancement uniform, or is it continued to be offset depending on which light spectrum you're having to look at?
That and what day it was.
Yeah. So there's no consistency.
The only thing that seems consistent from what I've seen so far, and I've went through second by second, believe it or not, from the start to the end of it, and 36 seconds keeps coming up. So it's got its act together, whatever it is.
Hey, Steve.
Yes, sir.
Did you get any response on how we can continue to see that the conclave is actually reversed?
No, nobody's actually. What you'll find interesting in the comments from the video we did earlier today, where we did an in-depth dive, guys. If you're wondering what we're talking about, the SDO satellite is a sun observatory that we put up back in 2011 or something like that, right?
The Solar Dynamic Observatory.
Yep. And this thing sits 22,000 miles above the Earth and looks at the sun 24/7, and it looks at it all these different bands, X-ray, UV. But primarily what they're looking at in these pictures are the X-ray, what it looks like in the X-ray band. And what we've been seeing, guys, is this like the sun will disappear in those bands, which is really unusual for a long period of time every day since the 20th of August. And what I wanted to do is kind of just a weekly recap. I wanted to share with Jake and Wayne and all you all, I'm telling you, when we first started talking about this, they did not want us talking about this. That's all I can tell you guys. I saw the traffic was just all, get off of this, get away from it. This is one of our all sky cameras. And the reason that this is interesting is I've seen this big ribbon kind of thing in the sky cams for a long time. And today it just showed up really, really, really bright to the east. And I thought it was interesting because it corroborates a little bit. Let's see if I can find it here. Yeah, I'll find it. Just give me a second. This one.
Wow. Yeah.
Did you see how it shines like this?
I thought that was the sun.
Yeah. So I showed this on an earlier video, but I'll just go through this again. So first I thought this was the sun, right? Look, it's the sun coming into the picture. Isn't that wonderful? It's that big, bright, ugly sun today again, I guess. And then all of a sudden, what pops down from the sky but the sun?
Go back and do that again. We need to convert this over into a movie.
I did already, but it's like in a different place right now.
Okay. All right.
Well then.
So the one over on the left, Steve, the one with the streak.
Yeah.
Next one. So this is how it started out.
Yep.
Look at that.
And this is the one that Richie was using and looking at to kind of say, is this that big shield that we're seeing?
That's what I was thinking.
All
Yeah.
right, stop right there. Stop
The way it
right
moves.
Stop right there, Steve. Can you pull that frame up?
Yep.
Yep, that one. Look how the light is actually pulled down. Yes. You see, what disturbs me on this is that, all right, light coming in, even if it's being diffused by our atmosphere, by smoke, by whatever, camera, it still keeps, right, the general shape from which it's actually getting the image from. That, sirs, look at that. That is almost going from what would be almost a north-south. Look at that. Anyway.
No, and let's keep having fun with it. I'm such a klutz when it comes to like operating a computer. Oh yeah, that's where we had it. Okay, here we go. So that was the one that Wayne just wanted to look at. So let's keep going. And it seems as if as the sun is up here, okay, and it's creating an illumination on either an object or something, you know. And Richie's theory was that this was basically a capture of the big disk in space reflecting the sun.
I'll tell you, our sun is going through changes. Look at that.
So really, at this point, I'm looking at it and going, I'm looking at the sun. This is a normal sun photo, right?
Look at that, right there. Look at that.
Jeez.
Are you guys seeing this?
Now, look at
And it's reflecting it. Is that water right below it?
There is some water down here, but you can see that a lot of refracted light is definitely hitting the top of the camera for sure. But look at, there's also kind of like an obfuscation almost now. You can start to see the corner of it. See?
Yeah.
You see again, it's taken on the dynamics of what it was.
Right. It's not like light's going to change the shape of it.
Okay, all right, guys, let's just stop here a second and let's think about what the professor has taught us. So, when we take a look at this, we know that light has to originate either from an original source, because a photon, light will travel regardless of whether it's in a vacuum or not. The only thing that's going to change the speed of a photon is mass. Are we looking at something that is causing the sun to refract light off of, and what we're getting this is the effect on our atmosphere? Because the only thing I can think of, guys, is right, is either it's being a shield or there's a body out there that is bending that light.
Yeah.
Are y'all tracking with me?
I see what you're talking about. You're talking about at the 2 o'clock position of that.
Yeah. So that's what I'm talking about. So the light is being suppressed.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It feels to me like it's just simple reflection off an object in space.
Yeah, that okay. You just simply condensed my words down. Listen, I'm learning, core math, the thing they're teaching kids today. So you draw it out.
Well, let's keep going. So, and then it flattens out here. You see how it flattens out?
That's my point.
Yeah. See how as the sun starts to come into the frame, this flattens out. So it tells me that whatever we're looking at must be just humongous.
Whoa, guys, wait a minute, right there. No, go advance, continue to advance, go to that one. Are we seeing an eclipse?
Oh, Wayne.
So
are we seeing an eclipse? I'm just throwing it out there.
Well, I think it could be part of the answer though. This is at 2:38 UTC. We haven't seen the eclipses But what I thought was interesting about this is you can see the halo very clearly around the sun here now.
Yeah, that's my point. Are we seeing the eclipse often of an object off of, let's say, a dwarf star that's beginning to ignite because of the fuel that it's now getting? I'm just throwing it out there.
No, I'm with you, Wayne. Jake, what are your thoughts?
I agree. I see something that looks like it could be moving across.
Well, I mean, and that's exactly what I'm saying. Look at that.
Yeah. And it gets smaller on each frame.
And remember, the Earth is moving as well. That is just.
Now it's gone.
But look at how it comes into the frame, you know. I'll just do it one more time. Again, this is just
huge.
To me, this is as remarkable a thing as I've seen this month. It's only like the 9th.
Yeah, thanks.
That's the thing that gets to me. It's like, you know, it's just the deluge of evidence that it should just make. I'm not asking people to buy what I'm saying, hook, line, and sinker, Wayne and Jake. I'm really not. I want people to push back. But the more that we look at all of these corroborating pieces of evidence and they just become more and more compelling, doesn't it make you feel like we're getting close to a disclosure of some kind?
It does feel logic, everything that we're doing.
Hey, Steve, I'll buy the hook, Jake will buy the line, and you can keep the sinker. Because it all ties together.
Jake, what were you saying?
What was that?
What were you saying, buddy?
Now that Wayne pointed out that there's something possibly eclipsing, are we really seeing that?
Yeah, I'll make this into an MP4 for you guys, for sure.
Well, Professor C, is that possible what we're hypothesizing here, that this could be actually a form of an eclipse, I don't know, what do you want to call it? They call it a lunar.
Here we go. Here we go.
All right, I'll just back off, but I'm just.
No, we love it. No.
Bring us some more lunar love, man.
You gotta have it. Gotta have it. I was already jonesing.
I need lunar, yeah. Anyway, the thing that's interesting about this, if this is the sun just coming over the top of an object, now I'm starting to look at, now I see what you're saying too, Wayne and Jake. It's like, if it was coming over an object, let's say that was a big dome out in space, right, a big globe.
Yeah.
The light would already be to the ground right now. We would see it, like, given the angle that it appears to be approaching. So if there was more, if this was a big, huge orb out here, right, you'd see light more than just in this one spot, is what I'm saying.
You've shown one like that where the orb was right there and it was shining. It looked like it was shining right over it. I remember you showing one a few weeks ago, actually.
So is this, to your point, Wayne, is this when, let's look at where the sun comes out. Gosh, it takes a long time for the sun to come out, doesn't it?
It does. And this, it just.
It's just bizarre is what it is. You know, again, could this be the shield turning down, like turning downwards? Look at this.
Yeah, I mean, because remember,
is that the shield changing positions?
I think it could. And this is Alaska, right?
Yes. Look at how it looks. If you look at it from that
looks like it's swinging, yeah, maybe?
Swinging out?
Yep. Look at that, how it could almost be swinging out as a door would swing out into space. Look at that motion.
Especially when you use last two frames. So here's the disc coming in, and then all of a sudden it's like.
And remember, the Earth is rotating at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we could. If the eclipse thing.
What if it's actually going behind something? Which is what we're seeing with the dark halo.
Yeah, the dark halo is what we would see when it's not behind the shield.
That you can actually see how it's almost going up and behind. And now you're not going to see it. Why? Because the shield's in place.
This is just, again, there's nothing that I touch anymore now. Like if I go to my email right now, I know I can find you a picture right now that will blow your mind, and I won't even have to try.
Watch out. Don't let Big Pharma get that.
Oh, wait, here we got one from today. Let me just prove to you what I'm saying here, okay? I'm going to prove it right now, okay? And I'll read the note with it. This is from today.